In the entertainment industry, Reba McEntire has long been a representation of fortitude and tenacity, managing both a successful singing career and personal struggles. Fans are shocked by her sudden breakup and ask many questions. Was it because of work-related demands or something else entirely? She reveals new insights into Reba's life and career by candidly discussing the circumstances leading to this unexpected chapter. Is this the pivotal moment that changes everything? Watch as we examine the highs and lows of Reba McEntire's emotional journey following her sudden breakup and her plans as a legendary figure in country music. Breaking her heart. It was a significant shock when Narvel Blackstock dissolved his marriage to Reba. Reba was not prepared for it and was not pleased with it either after 26 years of blissful marriage. In an interview with CMT, she claimed she had no say in stopping their relationship in any shape, form, or fashion. However, Reba was deeply affected by more than simply the fact that their marriage was ending. Given that Reba had often said he was not just her husband, but also her best friend, Narvel's explanation for terminating it was tough to swallow. Once upon a time. It was in 1980 that Reba and Narvel first crossed paths. Initially playing steel guitar in Reba's band, Narvel eventually became her full-time manager in 1987, offering her emotional support after her divorce from her first spouse. The two married on a boat in Lake Tahoe in 1989, 2 years after their connection turned passionate. Narvel and Reba were invincible together. Together they founded Starstruck, a management firm, and Reba gave birth to Shelby, a son, in 1990. They appeared to have a happily ever after. But where did it all start? Country through and through. Given her early years, it's hardly surprising that Reba Nell McEntire is called the Country Queen. She was born in 1955 in the small Oklahoman town of McAllister and raised on her family's ranch in the rural Chalky. Together with the rest of the family, Reba, her brother Pike, and sisters Alice and Susie would assist on the ranch by cooking, cleaning, and caring for the livestock. She attributes her success in life to her challenging work experience, which taught her the importance of having a strong work ethic. Ranch, rodeo, and riding. When the local school required a teacher, Reba's mother decided to become a teacher instead of pursuing her childhood dream of becoming a country singer. In addition to working on the ranch, her father, who hails from a long line of rodeo steer ropers, was a 3-time world champion steer roper. Reba began helping on the family's ranch as a child. By the time she was 5 years old, she could drive and would drive her father's truck as he tossed bales of hay off the back for the cattle to eat. The Singing McEntire's. As a small child, Reba's parents shared her attention almost equally. She spent a lot of time with her mother, who taught her to sing and shared her love of country music with her, even though she would assist her dad on the ranch. The family would frequently travel together for her dad's rodeo competitions, and during the lengthy journeys across the nation, they would amuse themselves by singing together. Reba's first solo performance was in her first-grade Christmas play, where she sang "Away in a Manger." Reba and her siblings began performing together as they grew older, and they quickly gained local recognition as the Singing McEntire's. Miss Ford Country. Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, Tammy Wynette, and Patsy Cline provided a constant soundtrack for Reba's early years and teens. Even though she would listen to them with respect, she never thought she would become as successful as they were, let alone overtake them as the world's best-selling female country artist. At 16, Reba experienced her first taste of fame. She was crowned Miss Ford County after winning an essay competition. Her award? Obtaining a 6-month lease on a new Ford. She put 18,000 miles on the car's engine when she had to return it. The Ballad of John McEntire. The popularity of the Singing McEntires was growing. They were becoming a local sensation, performing at honky-tonks, dance halls, rodeos, and bars. They also printed 1,000 copies of a song they recorded called The Ballad of John McEntire that recounted their grandfather's rodeo days. The family's road to country success appeared to be set when 2 of their songs, God Never Cried and If I Could Only Be With You, became so well known that they were played frequently on local Oklahoma radio stations. Passing judgment. Reba discovered her faith and chose to get baptized while performing with her family as the Singing McEntires. Christianity has grown to be a significant aspect of her life. Reba gained a valuable humility lesson while on tour. While en route to a performance one evening, Reba informed her mother that she would invite everyone in the dance hall to attend church on Sunday morning. After giving it some thought, Reba's mother, Jacqueline, questioned her daughter how she knew those individuals weren't already attending church. In an interview, Reba said, "You don't know what other people do. That was my first lesson on passing judgment. You are ignorant of their heart." College. After graduating with honors from high school, Reba enrolled in Southeastern Oklahoma State University. She minored in music while majoring in education, just like her mother, but she never gave up on her desire to play. She would lose herself in music whenever she wasn't studying. She would perform at local taverns and places whenever she could, singing. Reba's school was not the only one with aspirations for country music. She and Garth Brooks were allegedly classmates at one point. Additionally, Reba thought she would teach elementary school, but destiny had other plans for her. Getting discovered. Reba recognized she was a talented vocalist and worked at it while she was a student, even though she was pursuing a degree in education. But that would all alter drastically one night in 1974. At the National Rodeo in Oklahoma City, Reba was asked to perform the national anthem, a role she had previously performed. However, Red Steagall, a well-known country music artist, was also at the rodeo at this time. After Reba's performance, Steagall was so moved that he decided to try to assist her in starting a music career. The two created a demo tape when he invited her to Nashville, the epicenter of country music. She would secure her first recording deal with Mercury Records a year later. First marriage. Reba married rodeo star Charlie Battles just as her singing career started taking off. The couple were married in 1976, the year she recorded her first song. Even though her initial singles weren't very successful, she quickly gained recognition as a significant talent in the country music industry. Her first, though not her last, foray into the Billboard's Top 20 came in 1979 when her rendition of Patsy Cline's Sweet Dreams peaked at number 19 on the Billboard country charts. The home of country music. Since the Grand Ole Opry is regarded as the legendary birthplace of country music, Reba's invitation to sing there in 1977 was a significant distinction. Because she was still relatively unknown, the security guard refused to let her in, saying her name wasn't on the list, even though she had driven to Nashville. After a brief conversation, during which he finally discovered her identity and allowed her entry, she nearly missed the show. She was informed upon entering that her show's duration had been halved because of her lateness, and that Dolly Parton had been given the remaining half of her time slot. That kind of choice would be unimaginable in a few years. Making it big. With the release of her fifth album, Unlimited, in early 1983, Reba achieved her first Billboard #1 position. She quit Mercury because she thought she had been forced to record country pop songs instead of the more traditional country music she liked, and she felt she didn't have enough creative control over her music. She discovered she was still dissatisfied with how the record producers took her music after joining MCA Nashville Records, which issued her 8th album, Just a Little Love. She then released an album titled My Kind of Country, which had the songs she was most excited about. 2 of the album singles were highly acclaimed by critics and peaked at #1 on the charts. Reba's concept for her music appears to have struck a deep chord with her audience. Music video pioneer. Reba began creating music videos in the latter part of the 80s. However, the videos quickly evolved from just Reba singing her songs into sophisticated productions with characters, plots, and set pieces. Some critics even dubbed them mini-movies. Reba loved working on these cinematic pieces so much that she quickly realized she wanted to be an actress. She made a decision that would prove to be crucial. She would appear in at least one film throughout her career. Tremors. Tremors, a 1990 horror comedy thriller starring Kevin Bacon about giant underground worm monsters attacking a tiny desert community, was Reba's first feature film debut. Reba even delayed her honeymoon with Marvel to wrap up filming since she was so thrilled about it. Reba portrayed one of the most adored characters in the legendary movie, a cheerful, gun-wielding survivor who valiantly faces the creatures in some of the most hilarious sequences. Reba's life appeared to be going well. Her dreams were coming true, but there were some complicated issues in her personal life. Starting Over. With chart-topping record sales and wildly popular music videos, Reba's career was taking off, but things weren't looking so well domestically. Reba and her first husband, Charlie Battles, resided on his ranch in Oklahoma in the middle of the 1980s. Charlie wanted Reba to stay home and help because he didn't like how her job impacted their lives. The two ultimately decided to split up in 1987. Reba recounted, "I was completely starting over because I had to pack everything in one day and leave. I had changed from being the little girl who obeyed his commands." Tragic crash. But by 1991, Reba's life had changed significantly. She was regarded as one of the most prominent artists in country music and was happily married to Narvel. That year, Reba's life would take a harsh, bitter turn due to a horrible accident. That year, a charter plane transporting Reba's band members crashed into a mountain close to San Diego, killing everyone on board. Reba's band suffered the deaths of 8 longtime members. Reba was sleeping in a nearby hotel at the time of the incident, and she was horrified to learn the tragic news when she woke up. Reba felt like she had lost family because several band members had traveled with her for years. For My Broken Heart. Reba's 16th album, For My Broken Heart, was dedicated to the band members who had died in the collision. Many of the songs on the album dealt with grief and bereavement, and the overall mood was solemn and dismal. The album resonated with many fans and sold over 4 million copies worldwide, making it one of her best-selling studio albums. In the booklet, Reba described the CD as a form of healing for all our broken hearts. The Red Dress. Reba garnered a lot of attention for her now iconic fashion choices at the 1993 CMAs, where she and Linda Davis won both Grammy and CMA honors for their duet, Does He Love You? The audience gasped when she took the stage because she wore a skimpy red dress. The red dress is now a part of country music history and is on display at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. Making waves. The topic of AIDS was mainly taboo in the early 1990s, especially in the more conservative country music circles. Reba caused quite a stir when she released a song about the topic. She recorded a song called She Thinks His Name Was John, about a woman with AIDS, for her 1994 album, Read My Mind. Reba has not shied away from critical social topics on other occasions. Her commitment to using her platform for good is demonstrated by the songs she has written over her lengthy career that address issues such as mercy killing, domestic violence, illegal immigration, and elder neglect. Hitting a snag. When Reba's 19th album, Starting Over, was released, it felt like a minor setback for her career. The album, intended to celebrate her 20 years in the music business and include all of her best songs, did not satisfy critics, and only one song made it into the top 10 hits chart. Despite this, the record fully turned its earnings around and was certified platinum less than a year later. The highest-grossing movie in history. Reba was approached by director James Cameron in 1996, who wanted her to appear in a movie he was directing. The film? The Titanic. Despite Reba's passion for performing, schedule conflicts forced her to decline the job. Reba remarked, "They kept moving my schedule. She didn't want to cancel shows that had already been scheduled and sold tickets." The part Reba was given? After being compelled to decline, socialite Molly Brown's role was transferred to Kathy Bates, who delivered a legendary and unforgettable performance. The movie later became the second highest-grossing movie ever made. Donating to the Salvation Army. What If It's You, Reba's 20th studio album, was released in 1997. The album featured several hits, including the lead single, The Fear of Being Alone, and the song, I'd Rather Ride Around With You. Another song on the album, What If, was dedicated to charity, and Reba gave the Salvation Army all of the song's profits. It was a hit and a dramatic comeback from the year before. Annie, Get Your Gun. Reba's Greatest Hits Volume 3, released in 2001. Despite her continued soaring success, she chose to take a vacation from recording and try her hand at Broadway around the time of I'm a Survivor, which made her the most certified female country musician in history. She played the lead in the musical Annie, Get Your Gun, a dramatized version of the life of Annie Oakley, a feminist icon and renowned Wild West shooter. Reba was just getting started, but the New York Times praised her performance as, without qualification, the best performance by an actress in a musical comedy this season. Reba's sitcom. After her Broadway triumph, Reba found she was addicted to acting. Rather than returning to the recording studio, she took over the small screen and began appearing in the comedy Reba in 2001. Reba, which told the tale of a sardonic single mother, debuted on the WB network and quickly rose to the top of the ratings. The show lasted for 6 outstanding seasons, ending in 2006, and received a Golden Globe for Reba and its excellent ratings. Reba's frenemy. The main character's name was initially intended to be Sally, but Reba persuaded her producers to choose her real name in the hopes that it would draw her followers to the program. This choice paid off. Melissa Peterman, Reba's co-star, portrays Barbara, one of the most enduring characters on the program. Although the two are bitter rivals on screen, they are great friends in real life, and Barbara is the reason behind the fictitious Reba's failed marriage. Returning to music. McEntire managed to get back into the recording studio and release her 23rd album, Room to Breathe, in 2003, following the premiere of Reba's second season. Because of the album's incredible success, Reba returned to the top of the music charts. In 2007, she surpassed industry titans like Dolly Parton to become the female artist with the most CMA nominations in the award's lengthy history. A year later, she embarked on a tremendously successful tour with Kelly Clarkson. Reba had resumed her business. Malibu Country. Reba made a brief comeback to television in 2011 as the star of the ABC sitcom Malibu Country. She plays Reba Gallagher, a recently divorced mother of 2 who tries to resume her career in country music after receiving her husband's Malibu home as part of the settlement with her ex-husband. The program received mixed reviews and was canceled after 18 episodes, even though it was the network's highest-rated new comedy. A New Path. Reba's 56th top 10 country hit came in 2008. Dolly Parton's previous record for the most top 10 hits for a female artist was surpassed by this incredible accomplishment. Reba announced later that year that she would be leaving her record label, MCA, with which she had worked for 25 years, and signing a new contract with the Valerie Music Group. This incredible record gave her the confidence to do something she had wanted to do for a long time. Rumors of her death have been greatly exaggerated. Reba's fans were devastated in 2012. According to a startling news report, Reba died in the fall after falling off a cliff in Austria while making a music video. The story swiftly gained traction through social media before reaching Reba's family. When her sister called in a panic to check if the rumors were accurate, Reba answered the phone and assured her that everything was okay. She even informed her followers on Twitter that she was unharmed. "I believe it's cruel that there are so many hoaxes that are just flying around. That's not amusing," Reba remarked. Number 1 fan. Reba's induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame was planned for 2014. Unfortunately, at that time, Reba's father, Clark McEntire, went into a coma after suffering a major stroke. On October 23, 2014, he died right before Reba was scheduled to attend the induction ceremony. One of Reba's biggest heroes, Dolly Parton, accepted the induction on her behalf. The music video for Just Like Them Horses by Reba was shot on the family's ranch in Chalky, Oklahoma, and was dedicated to her father. Reba recalled her favorite admirer, saying, "He ran to heaven," similar to those horses. Lavish lifestyle. Reba plays and works hard. She is renowned for living a lavish lifestyle and enjoying her prosperity. Consider her mansion in Beverly Hills. In 2009, she paid $9 million for the property, which has a tennis court, a jacuzzi, a swimming pool, 9 bathrooms, and 7 bedrooms. She sold it for $22.25 million to an unidentified buyer in 2015, one of the most significant sales in the region's history. Saving Faith Hill's life. Faith Hill, a very popular country singer, tried to be a backup vocalist on Reba's tour, but was turned down before her big break. Tragically, the singer who did land the role died in the plane disaster in 1991. Faith claimed in an interview with Larry King, that she had no ill will and didn't receive the role because she wasn't good enough at the time. However, rejection likely saved her life, and she became one of the most well-known figures in country music. Kelly Clarkson, daughter-in-law. Narvel Blackstock handled one of America's most considerable music talents, Kelly Clarkson. After Kelly sang the national anthem at the 2012 Super Bowl, he introduced her to Brandon Blackstock, his son, and Reba's stepson. The two got married in 2013, making Clarkson Reba's daughter-in-law. Reba is thrilled that she and Clarkson have toured together. I was extremely happy, thrilled. Who could be happier than to have my friend as a daughter-in-law, Reba said. Breaking up. Narvel and Reba split up in 2015, but Reba didn't appear prepared to move on. She claimed that she and Narvel would still be married if she had been given the choice. Following their divorce, she stated that she only wanted everyone to be happy in life, and if that meant terminating a 26-year marriage for Narvel, then so be it. Daddy used to say, "I just thought it was the best thing to take my marbles and go play somewhere else." Reba, however, wasn't prepared for Narvel's decision on his moving on. Moving on, staying close. Reports that Narvel was seeing someone else began circulating a few months after Narvel and Reba's formal separation. However, Narvel wasn't just seeing anyone. He was seeing Laura Putty Stroud, a luxury real estate agent in Nashville and Reba's best friend. Reba would frequently post pictures of herself with Laura on social media while she and Narvel were still married, and the two even went to a Katy Perry concert together. Although it's unclear whether Laura and Narvel began dating while Narvel and Reba were still married, people close to the new couple say they are severe. Due to their recent and brief relationship, many have speculated that Narvel and Laura may have been cheating on Reba behind her back, but no hard evidence has come to light. Between a rock star and a hard place. Kelly Clarkson, Reba, and Narvel's daughter-in-law was one individual who was put in a challenging situation after their split. Although she was married to Narvel's son, she was also one of Reba's closest friends. However, Reba and Narvel support one another despite the challenges of terminating a relationship. Growing apart. Even though their romance ended, Narvel and Reba continued to work together. Reba was managed by Narvel, who continued to do so for a year after they split up. However, Reba decided to go it alone in 2016 and established Reba's Business Incorporated, or RBI for short. In addition to managing Reba's products, which include apparel, jewelry, cosmetics, and home decor, some of which can be purchased at the Cracker Barrel gift shops, Reba's organization also assists in managing budding artists. With a current estimated net worth of $95 million, Reba appears to have benefited from going it alone. She even declared in 2017 that she was prepared to resume dating. Picture collection. Fans who follow Reba on social media, particularly Instagram, know her passion for photography. She snaps photos everywhere. "I enjoy tinkering with my photos." In one interview, she declared, "I am a big picture fanatic. I adore it when someone sends me a picture I don't have. I can scan it, store it on my computer, and archive it now." Friends in high places. Some of the most significant individuals in the world, including former U.S. officials like President George W. Bush and his father, George H.W. Bush, have been impacted by Reba's endearing demeanor. She said, "We email each other on our trios all the time. Nothing political, just jokes back and forth." He and his friends both have a strong interest in email. Years ago, my husband and I received an invitation from Senior Bush to take a private cruise to the Greek islands. The email thing began when we became close friends. Gun enthusiast. Reba seemed to be the epitome of traditional country existence. Guns are one of her favorite pastimes. Surprisingly, she didn't pick up this pastime on her father's ranch, but developed it later. She enjoys shooting and collecting them. "I wanted to be able to look like I knew how to shoot a gun because we never did that when we were home in Oklahoma. So I went and learned how to skeet shoot and trap shoot when I found out that I was going to do a movie called Buffalo Girls with Angelica Houston a few years before this." Songs of Faith and Hope. Sing It Now, Songs of Faith and Hope, Reba's debut gospel album, was released in 2017. It combined her love of music with her fervent Christian beliefs. The 2 discs on this, Reba's 28th studio album, include classic hymns and her original compositions, which she claims she has been collecting and hoarding for years after being influenced by an old hymn book she owned as a young child.
If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon